All right. Hello and welcome to the daily Link to the Past randomizer race here on Speed Gaming Live. We have an interesting mode tonight that we'll tell you more about in a little bit. So I think we're getting ready to get started. I am Mark Lar. I'm joined in commentary here by Claymore. How are you doing, Claymore?
I'm doing well this evening. How are you doing?
Good. Tired, but excited for some Link to the Past. It's been a while since I've gotten to watch, and we have some really strong runners here on the stream. So I'm definitely excited to see this one play out.
And we are backed up by Jinx Girl and Matt Ewalker doing the tracking for us to make sure that we're honest and you guys are on track. And we have P-Train, Plasma Kappa, Furious Magic, and Tiverius running for us today, as well as a handful of other runners that are taking care of the rest of it off stream.
Yeah, it's not the biggest race, but it is very stacked, as we can see here. And this mode might be unfamiliar to some of you. As you see, it's the SGL21 mode. These are, I think, preliminary settings for the upcoming tournament that's going to be on Speed Gaming Live later on. So, getting a bit of a preview, right?
Yep, Speed Gaming Live 2021 is going to have an Elite to the Best randomizer tournament, and these flags are going to be what's showcased there. These flags are kind of interesting, and we're going to go over them a little bit right now. In this mode, all 4 swords are going to be placed in the item pool, but our runners are only going to be able to get 3 of them. So the maximum sword we're ever going to see is tempered, and that final sword will be replaced with a green 20, as you typically see in swordless modes. We got a quick map check. We got a blue crystal in Desert Palace, and Plasma Kappa was really quick. I did not see the others.
Yeah, I was looking really good. But also, this is a casual boot start. As you can tell, we're already going pretty fast, and we have our first sword.
And Tiverius coming up with a Master Sword. I'm not sure exactly where he got that one.
I guess it must have...
Things are just moving way too quick for me.
Huh. Was it in the chest? Did I already miss that? I know bombs was in Link's house, so it must have been in the chest in Escape.
Blue Pendant Uncle and Blue Crystal Hair. We get a very blue light world today.
Oh right, yeah. Excuse me. Because it's casual boots and you're starting with a sword. Uncle already gave us the second sword.
You're right. So that means there's only one more sword elsewhere in the world for our runners to get.
Yeah, we are just going to this Escape loaded already. Also, I've heard about this sprite that P-Train has. My gosh. The bobbing Link head.
That is a very strange sprite.
Yeah. So with the Master Sword, and since we have boots, we don't have to worry about getting bombs, even though we already have them. So, do you want to go ahead and take us through some of the other settings we have for this mode besides the swords?
Of course. Similar with the swords, our runners are going to only ever have the fighter shield. The other 2 shields are placed in seed, but as soon as our runners get the first shield, the other ones are going to immediately switch over to blue rupee. So we're not going to be able to do many sword shenanigans. Same with armor. We're only going to have blue mail. The second upgrade is going to become a blue rupee when our runners pick up the blue mail. Not going to be a very defensive heavy seed this time.
Yeah, it's definitely like a pseudo hard mode, in that we're also going to be capped out at 14 hearts as another one of our things. Probably the biggest change in this as well is that we have non-progressive bows.
And if you're a little bit confused as to what non-progressive bows means, it means that if our runners find the silver arrows in the world before they find the bow, they won't be able to fire arrows because it won't give them the bow, whereas in normal modes, you can get the bow, and then you get the bow again, which gives you silvers. In this mode, not going to happen. So our runners are going to have to find that bow.
Yeah, and if you've been playing Randomizer for long enough, it's actually the way that it used to always be. We didn't always have progressive bows. I actually started playing only a few months ago, so I've actually never gotten to experience a race with non-progressive bows, so I'm interested to see how that will play out. it seems kind of like divided amongst the community. Some people prefer it one way, some the others, but
as it always is, and it's generally going to affect strategy in some ways that we're not really going to be able to tell until we run into it head on.
yeah, you run into those situations where you don't get lucky, breaking bow logic and finding the other bow and things of that nature.
And we are being informed in the chat that Super Mario Zelda 3, the combination randomizer of A Link to the Past and Super Metroid, those bows are not progressive, probably just due to the inherent difficulty in programming the randomizer to combine the two games.
Yeah, that's a good call. I didn't forget about that. I am not as familiar with Super Metroid, so I forgot about that one.
And we're seeing Plasma Kappa pull one of the full hearts. Like Marklar said, we're not going to have an incredibly healthy seed this one. We only going to have a maximum of 14 heart containers if our runners collect everything. That's because there are only 2 boss hearts, and there are only 2 bosses that have heart containers. In the vanilla game, all of them have heart containers, and there are 32 heart pieces placed as opposed to 24 in the original game. So our runners are only ever going to have 14, and that's if they find all of them.
Yep, so 2 heart containers from bosses, the Sank heart container, and then up to 32 pieces of heart. And P-Train's the first one out with a nice time, 5:10. Really showing off how Boots and a Master Sword can make escape very quick.
Yes. And now P-Train is going, since he doesn't really have anywhere else to go, P-Train is just going to do the regular Lost Woods loop, except he's going to be able to loop in the Bonk Rocks due to starting with the boots.
Yeah, I think this is always a good start in casual boots, and especially
when you get the flute.
Nice. Yeah, that makes things a little nicer. I was curious if anyone was going to opt to maybe save and quit. You do have the bombs already, so you could potentially go down the South Shore, but you've already got 300 rupees as well, so chances are if you go this way and finish up Kakariko, you're hoping maybe you have enough money that you can potentially water walk to Zora and knock that out as well if you want to.
And starting with the boots and with the flute, that is a very attractive option. P-Train was very good at recognizing what was on that ledge. I didn't see it. Maybe we'll see it on Plasma Kappa. It's just a bug net.
Oh, okay. I didn't see what it was. It definitely looked like something. Okay, so that's a good sign. It's always slightly scary getting a sword that early, but
yes. And we are finding a bottle, and that is another change that has been made for the SGL21 flag settings. There are only 2 bottles that our runners will get in the game, and they're both guaranteed to be empty. The other 2 will be replaced with 5 rupees. So our runners are not going to have much in the way of safety nets either.
Yep. And so Tiveria's first one into Kakariko, I think actually P-Train just maybe passed him a little bit, but he's the only one of our 4 runners that does not have that lumberjack knowledge. So interesting to see if that will weigh in on their mind at some point. I guess it'll depend on how progression plays out.
It seems that Tiberius also does not have the flute, which is going to be a significant handicap.
Oh, really? I wonder if that's a tracker like lagging type of situation. It's hard to imagine not doing Bonk Rocks.
Well, I guess we're gonna see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's easy to just forget as well, I suppose, if you're not used to these casual boot starts.
If you're just autopiloting the initial 10 minutes of the game, you could just bypass Bonk Rocks.
Yeah.
But we will see.
So yeah, with 32 pieces of heart in the pool, expect to see a lot of them as we see today.
Certainly. That's 8 more than you usually have, so...
I promise I did not know that there was going to be like 3 pieces of heart in well before saying that. All right, here we go. Did Tiberius pick up that flute? We will see in just a second here. And it looks like they
It
did
seems
not.
it seems Tiberius did not.
An unfortunate time to forget too.
Yeah, it's gonna come back to bite him in a bit once he eventually loops Bonkrocks back in. He's gonna realize that he's a little bit behind.
Yeah, it's not always the worst thing. I mean, unless it ends up being required for mire or desert access.
Mhm.
Especially with boots, you can kind of mitigate that time loss a decent amount, but definitely sad to have not picked that up for sure.
Tiberius turning in that bottle and only getting $50 from it. Not nothing, but not maybe what Tiberius wanted to see.
Yeah. So far, I mean, Kakariko definitely coming up a little empty. So, almost certainly gonna have to see a South Shore play at this point.
Yep,
with no
definitely.
real good options besides that.
Randomizers all run on what's called logic. That means that the game knows where you're able to go with the items that it gives to you. And that means that our runners know where they should probably go next based on the items they can pick up in any given location. Normally, with the dozen items or so that Kakariko gives you, you can usually get a pretty good idea of where the seed wants you to go. But in this case, the seed is kind of directionless right now, so our runners need to find some batch of items that will tell them where to go.
Right, yeah, with not being able to clear any dungeons, you always want to ideally be able to go into a dungeon and finish it before you start looking at items for there. But unless something turns up on the South Shore, you gotta start thinking maybe Eastern Palace is a play, even though that feels absolutely horrible.
It's a weak play, but it would be a play. But we have Plasma Kappa breaking logic and going backwards through the dark mountain cave to rescue the old man. It's important to note that whatever he finds here, he's not supposed to have.
Yeah, exactly. But only the old man, though. Anything up inside Spectacle Rock will be in logic because of that flute.
Correct. So it really depends what he finds right now.
Yeah, mini Moldorm Cave not producing anything.
Ooh.
So a bow.
A bow out of logic.
Yeah, our one and only bow, as a matter of fact. Looks like Cap is opting to go over here and check out what's going on with Desert and Nagina. Always nice to get that out of the way.
Furious Magic fake flippering and similarly breaking logic to find the Quake Medallion out of the Waterfall Cave.
Yeah. Might come in handy. I'm not sure if they did Mini Moldorm Cave or not, though. I think they might have just gone straight into this fake flipper.
Good question. Hard to tell. Mini Moldorm Cave really didn't have anything for us, so there'll be nothing to really track.
Yeah. It just, you definitely start isolating those items up in the Zora area a little bit, having already cleaned up the waterfall, though.
Yep. The Zora item in particular and the Zora Ledge item may well be orphaned because you just don't go back for them. And the gift from the Waterfall Fairy is red goo. Could be useful.
Yeah, so far, our only real piece of progression right now coming in the form of this bow, which most likely, starts to look like maybe there might be something like a lamp sitting in the back of Saha's closet or an Eastern, perhaps. That's all it would really take to put that bow into logic.
Yep. We don't want to see it in Eastern Palace because that means that a double dip is required, which is never a good feeling.
Yeah, it does give Plasma Cap a little more incentive to check it out once they've exhausted some of these other checks. If the other runners opt to head towards Saha's first, though, instead of doing the old man out of logic, they might end up in that forced double dip that you're referring to.
Yep. Plasma Kappa stands to gain if the lamp is in the back of Saha's closet or in the front of Eastern Palace. Plasma Kappa stands to gain a reasonable amount of time here.
B-Train. Just quaking the guard for good measure before fluting away.
Tiberius taking the unfortunate death. This is one of the safety features that the randomizer offers. Fake flippers in the JP 1.0 version of the game, if you take damage while in a fake flipper state, the game doesn't know where to put you out, and you soft lock. The randomizer fixes this by just killing you on the spot.
Yeah. It looks like they had the didn't have like the water walk like you said they were doing the fake flippers, so definitely a little more dangerous to do, unfortunately.
Especially in that pre-hobo area, those guards can just snipe you, and they just do not care.
All right, let's see if we have something in Saw's Closet here. Nope.
No, Saw's Closet not the play. We may see Tiberius go to Eastern. I'm not sure how comfortable Tiberius is with dark rooms. He might try to dive.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's almost guaranteed that either Eastern or Zora will have a lamp at this point. Well, actually, no, they don't have mitts. So
yeah, so
Zora's not in logic. So.
Zora is not accessible logically at the moment. So I think we're being dragged over to Eastern for a double dip to get the lamp.
Yeah. So Tiberius unfortunately did not do Old Man out of logic. So whatever even if lamp is almost guaranteed to be in here, it really doesn't open up too much besides Old Man at this point either. And so that means besides just the lamp, there's a pretty high likelihood that we do have actual progression here in Eastern. And if it's on the boss, it's going to be a huge advantage to Plasma if he goes in with the bow.
Certainly, yeah. And that's just going to turn reasonable into substantial.
Yeah. I mean, it's not it's like, what are the odds, that Old Man happens to have the bow, but this is a seed where, it would have, seems like it might be paying out. Because Furious Magic is now in there without the bow, and it looks like P-Train is heading that way as well.
Yep. All roads lead to Eastern. But only Plasma's going to be able to follow it through.
Yeah, got our first item there, which is bombs. Yeah, I don't think I'm forgetting anything else, am I?
I don't think so. We've seen Lost Woods. We've seen Lost Woods drop. We've seen all of Kakariko. The only thing I don't think we've seen is the race game, unless somebody checked it and I missed it.
Yeah, that was 20 rupees, I remember. Okay, yep, there's the hammer. So the fact that it is not on the boss is very good for the other runners.
Hammer by itself doesn't open much for us, though.
That's actually true, yeah.
So no,
so the lamp is not in here either.
Double dip is not in the cards for Eastern, but then the question becomes, where is lamp?
Maybe we did not see the inside of Spec Rock Cave.
No, we did not. The runners dipped out of mountain after retrieving the Old Man, or Plasma Kappa did. He just bailed right after getting the bow. He knew where he wanted to go.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's looking like that might be a logically required item, because we didn't have the lamp in here before.
Yeah, so Tiberius is right now not in logic. Plasma Kappa is also not in logic. It looks like Spectral Rock may have been the play, or it may have been the logical play at least.
Yeah, let's see what's in the big chest here. This is an important chest. Just the map.
Ooh, yep. Tiberius is now stuck. He can no longer proceed. And without the flute, he can't even get to Death Mountain to follow where we think the logic is pointing him.
Yeah, so unless we're mistaken, I think at this point it has to be that a lamp is in Spec Rock Cave and that our next progression is on the boss. Is what I think is going on here.
Tiberius is about to close the loop.
Yeah, they'll probably go up to Spec Rock Cave, having already gone to Eastern. So we'll get some confirmation there one way.
because there's not really anywhere else.
Yep, and P Train forced to quit.
I think Plasma is just gonna go all the way through. Logic,
absolutely.
to heck with Logic.
I mean, they've checked everything else, I believe. You know, and at this point, I think they also have to know that that lamp is probably inside of a cave up here.
P-Train not able to hit the stairway for a minute.
Yeah, Link is really just vibing up these stairs. Oh, see, P-Train's not even checking. I think he knows that.
Yeah, he asked him. He knows Logic.
Yeah, doesn't know it's the lamp necessarily, but does know it must be.
Oh, okay. Never mind us.
Yep. I am very dumb and completely forgot possibility that could just contain a completely other progression item.
But though that raises a question, where does Hookshot get us?
Oh, you're
Hookshot
gonna
gets us Hookshot gets us across the mountain.
Yeah, you're gonna cross. I was focused on this loop with Eastern because it's gonna be a huge advantage. But it being Hookshot instead of Lamp is very nice, I think, for the other runners.
Though that just pushes Lamp into here. So
also, shoutouts to P-Train for that hover across the pit.
Oh yeah, that hover, he made it look effortless.
Yeah, would have felt bad if I didn't say anything at all because that's no joke.
Okay.
All right, so we have a book now. All right, let's see. Plasma Kappa very quickly finishing off the boss in Eastern. It's just a heart piece. So now, what could have been a huge advantage for Plasma Kappa might actually just be some time wasted as P-Train is finding a real progression over.
Oh yes, the book and the Power Glove. This is where the game wanted us to go.
Yeah, Paradox really coming through.
Because with the book and the glove in hand, P-Train can go over to Desert Palace.
Yeah, and I think we'll see P-Train go and clear Hera, I'm sure.
Yeah, without the I just remembered that without a fire source, he's not gonna be able to clear Desert Palace. He can go into it.
Yeah,
but
and it's possible to get locked out of Hera for the same reason, but having the hookshot, all of a sudden you've now got the Hera pod available to you, so might as well go ahead and check this tablet and clear it out while you're out here.
And just explosions from heaven.
Yeah, so far nothing has been lamp locked in terms of our progression. Hammer was before the Dark Room in Eastern, so not guaranteed that we'll find a way to clear Desert in here.
Ooh, I wonder if P-Train is going to Hera pot.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, he's absolutely. Yep.
Very nice.
There we go.
Yeah, I think it was. I think we saw. Was it bombs in basement? I might be.
We saw bombs in the first basement door, and then P-Train, knowing that he couldn't get the basement, just decides to pot up, and this means that P-Train is currently out of logic.
Yes.
Because you need the big key to get up here, and he doesn't have the big key. So the big key is in the basement, walked behind a fire source, which we still don't know where it is.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I mean, so the Mitts put Zora in logic all of a sudden.
Yep. And with Furious Magic dead-rocking himself at the bridge there.
God, I hate dead rocks.
P-Train with our first crystal at 2253.
Yep. So does get out of the way and does see both items, so doesn't have to worry about something being locked inside that big chest. You know, somewhere in the back of their mind, always wondering if that's an item or not.
Oh yes, orphaning that item especially sucks.
Yeah. So at this point we have Desert, we have a Mushroom, we have Zora, I think, and we have Spiral Cave.
which we're going to see from Peachin right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see all 4 of these runners kind of being funneled in to these to where we are right now.
Yep.
Furious
And
Magic
there's the
also.
flippers.
Oh, was it a Spiral Cave? I was watching
Yes,
Furious
Spiral
Magic
Cave.
do their Harapot, also setting it up nicely. Alright, so we are going to turn in this mushroom. And 8 rupees away from Zora. It'll be interesting to see what P-Train decides to do here with his flippers.
He's going to get the Moon Pearl.
All right, so
Okay.
does not have to worry about it right now. Can just go straight into the Dark World if they want to.
Yep. And now the world is kind of all the way open to him. He's going to immediately go to Hype Cave.
Yeah. This is I think this is a good start. I'm sure we'll get our first look at the Dark World crystals here as well in a little bit.
Yeah, as soon as he's finished with Hype Cave, we're going to see that map check, and we're going to know what we need to do in the world. I think Furious Magic getting knocked off, Moldarm can be kind of a pain.
Oh yeah, Moldarm is a jerk. Fire Rod. Is this going to be an actual Hype Cave? It tried its best.
It tried, and the Fire Rod is not nothing. We're going to see just how useful it is right now. Crystals at Skullwoods and Turtle Rock, meaning it is required. Red crystals are Swamp Palace and Palace of Darkness.
Yep. Did you see what the 2 pendants were? I think I unfortunately missed it.
I missed it as well. It's probably sitting over at TT and Meyer. Thank you, Antibob.
Appreciate that. I knew chat would have our backs. Alright, so it looks like we are getting Tiverius getting ready to clear Apera, and Furious Magic opting to go into Desert.
Well, this is an interesting play. I'm not entirely sure what he's expecting. I think he knows he can't get anything he needs here at the moment.
Yeah, and P-Train just found half magic. Yeah, if you're wondering how that small magic... I think the small magic was the item there, right?
Yeah, so half magic was also removed in SGL21 flags. Our runners will never have half magic.
Yeah, I might have missed the count. It might have been a ruby, but I think I saw them... I think I saw the small magic as being the item. But yeah, in terms of going into Desert, I mean... If you find the items in the front, it's 2 items versus the 1 item on Mushroom, and you don't have enough money for Zora, so it makes it a little awkward. But oh, Tiverius!
Oh, he almost got bullied off the edge.
I am actually very impressed. Oh no!
Oh, and then he gets knocked in the middle.
Why did I say anything?
Oh man,
feels bad. But yeah, I mean, your odds of finding like the Moon Pearl in here were honestly, just as good as finding it at Mushroom or Zora. Maybe a little less because your item could have been locked behind the back.
Speaking of Zora, all he's got is a scam.
But yeah, P-Train with that Fire Rod is going to opt to go ahead and knock this out of the way since they are able to full clear it. Alright, so Kappa turning in the Mushroom, they will get their Moon Pearl. But yeah, even though like the odds were kind of similar, whether you try going to Desert or checking that Mushroom, I think with the Flute, checking the Mushroom is so fast that I probably would have been tempted to do it first before going into Desert without a fire source.
Yeah, definitely. This is a Desert Palace without fire source. Given the paucity of items you're not gonna find is kind of weird.
Alright, so Plasma opting to go in through the Thieves' Town, Village of Outcasts first, rather than starting over in Hype Cave. Or no, excuse me, they're not. They're checking ped.
We're gonna get our ped check really quick before the half-hour mark. Oh.
All right, chat. So ped is possibly on the table.
That is the Bombos text, and we do not know what our medallion requirements are for entry into Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. Now, unfortunately, we know that Bombos can't be the Mire requirement because Mire is a pendant, and because Bombos is on the pedestal, you can't require Bombos to get into a pedestal or a pendant dungeon. So we just have to look at Turtle Rock and hope. Now, which way you're hoping depends on whether you want to be mean or not.
I was like, that's kind of rude to the runners, so I'm sure are hoping that Turtle Rock is not Bombos. But yeah, in our hearts, we all know what chat wants. So yeah, if you're wanting to see a nice pet seed, then if Turtle Rock is Bombos, we will get there. P-Train making nice work of the Bulldog fight.
Very fast. The Fire Rod just trivializes the entire fight.
Yep. All right. So nothing major in Desert, but again, just knocking another crystal up out of the way
and getting the one and only shield he will ever have.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they didn't do Old Man. So P-Train, the only one without a bow. Otherwise, I think Pod would be a very nice play for them right now.
Yeah, hammer, bow. The only thing he's really missing would be the lamp, but given how effectively he navigated Dark Rooms, he may not need it.
Yeah, I have a feeling that P-Train would probably be okay in there without a lamp. Especially with the Fire Rod. 100% they would be alright. But we got Kappa giving us our first look at Pendant Thieves Town. And yes, sorry to Joss, there was a bug net on Aga, so confirmed dead at this point. P-Train getting that Bombos knowledge.
And now he's got that in the back of his head, like, oh man, what's Turtle Rock? And unfortunately, we are not going to know for quite some time.
Yeah, I think we'll see P-Train probably go into Skull Woods at this point. Probably the most logical play for them.
Just as we're seeing Furious Magic do right now.
Yep. The benefit of starting out at Hype Cave for this type of situation. It's probably going to be a little sad for Kappa once they, maybe find Fire Rod after they make their loop. But, I mean, if something ends up being here, this could be a big play for Kappa, too. B-Train mummies are not cooperating at all.
Do they ever cooperate?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I've never once seen the mummies play nice.
Alright, so I unfortunately was watching Kappa through Thieves Town earlier, but not sure how many items they're on right now.
I could not say. I've been trying to watch a little bit of everyone to find out where everyone's going.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely opened up with a lot of possibilities once we got that Dark World access.
We got Furious Magic and P-Train hot on the heels of Mothula.
Oh, so there's our lamp.
Oh. Interesting. Buried deep in Thieves Town.
Yeah, so for these runners, not going to be something that's going to be required with the Fire Rod. It's going to make Kappa's life a little easier, but we're seeing them take this all the way to blind, so Yeah, we're gonna look. It is a green pendant, so regardless of whether blind has an item, they'll still get one through the green pendant.
Looks like Mr. Meyer is the green pendant, actually.
Oh gosh, excuse me. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Alright. P-Train making nice work at that.
That was a very good fight.
Is on a little less health. Gotta be a little careful here. The conveyor belt being particularly.
Yeah, not playing nice with him. I don't think he has a red pot on hand.
Oh no. That is a sad death to take, unfortunately.
Yeah, because it's not exactly a short run back.
Yeah, there was a red potion given by the Waterfall family that I think P-Train picked that up, but unfortunately Furious Magic did not have any safeties on hand. Kind of scanning everyone's inventory right now. It looks like Plasma Kappa picked up a shovel from somewhere.
That I did not see where Plasma Kappa dug that shovel up.
Yeah, so I wonder. Yeah, I guess we'll see. P-Train will probably go through the Village of Outcasts after this as well. So get another look for items that I missed from there. Watching 4 screens at the same time is hard. So I apologize in advance, chat. All right, here comes Furious for their rematch with Moth. Managed to get a full magic refill, which is nice.
Never gonna turn that down.
Ooh, little dangerous here again, but there we go. Alright, so Plasma Kappa gets their Fire Rod. So, wonder if they'll take this into Pod, or if they'll opt to do something else here. Bo, for the person asking in chat, was on Old Man, which is P-Train is getting right now, it looks like, but the lamp was like in the basement of Thieves Town, so logically,
yeah, this is a big chest of Thieves Town, logically way deep.
Yeah, logically we might not see a lot of our other runners get it, but this is good for P-Train that they're knocking this out now. Would have been a little sad if they opted to go into Pod without that bow. As we mentioned earlier, so this, with the mode that we have here, this SGL21 mode, it is not progressive bows, so that is the only bow in the item pool right now. Silvers are still out there somewhere, but you did have to get that from Old Man in order to be able to use the bow.
Yep, you can pick up the silver arrows, but you're not going to be doing a whole lot with them.
Yeah, and I think you can type in !2021 if you want some more information about the mode as well. Oh, we found mitts somewhere. Where were mitts at?
P-Train found mitts somewhere while we were blabbering about modes.
Yeah, where did they find those? But here we go. This is a big moment for chat.
Here we go.
If you're a pet fan, you want to see Bombos right now.
Aw, it's Ether. Oh well.
All right.
Maybe next time.
Rest in peace, Pedestal.
Big key chest was mitts apparently.
Ah, okay, yeah. Furious Magic picked that up as well. the classic, the medallion for Turtle Rock is sitting there in Super Bunny Cave.
That's almost as good as sitting in my shed.
Yeah, I feel like that happens way too often to be a coincidence. So we're still looking for quite a few items at this point. We're going to need Cane of Samaria. We're going to need Ice Rod. And Mirror, I think, is what we're down to at this point.
Yep. Yep, that's about all we need.
We already have chat wishing for the worst things, such as Ice Rod on Green Pendant for our runners.
That would be pretty bad.
Yeah, shame on you, Joss.
At least he's not wishing for it at the end with Smith Chain.
Yeah.
Which would be even worse.
Alright, so Tiberi is on their blind fight right now. Doing a nice job with the first 2 cycles there. Ooh, getting a little bullied.
He thought about pulling out his red pot, but realized he didn't really need it.
Yeah, that's the benefit of getting the first 2 cycles good, is that even when that 3rd one goes awry, usually you're going to be fine to clean it up with just 3 hits left. Yep, and so P-Train is making the pod play. Not surprising. I think that's the most logical choice at this point. After this, we'll probably see Ice as well, I'm imagining. Plasma Kappa could opt to go towards Skullwoods first if they want to.
Ice Palace without Cane of Samaria is kind of rude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. A lot of runners don't like going there until they find the cane. I think for me, when you're this deep in a seed and you have a full clearable ice in front of you, I opt to just take it normally.
Yeah, because Cane of Samaria lets you cut out a lot of the backtracking and the looping that Ice Palace typically demands of you. So having Cane of Samaria in your back pocket before you step in, generally runners will want to do that. They don't really want to try to navigate it normally. And we're going to see what exactly the dig game had for us.
Oh, that was our half magic.
Yep.
That is disguised as a floating little magic buck.
We don't have Tavares' audio, but you would have heard the item jingle when the magic scanner came up.
Yeah, so for the other things that we have with the settings, so we're on blue mail, so we will not have any more mail upgrades for the rest of the game. Nor will we have shields. I think there is a fighter shield on Moldorm, or excuse me, on
Landmo.
Thank you. It's just completely believable. I was like the smaller worm guys. I don't know. What are they called? So yeah, that will be the only shield that we see as well. So still would like to find silver arrows at some point too, or tempered sword. There are all the swords in the item pool, but we are maxed out at tempered sword for this. Yes,
the 2 other sword locations will turn into, or the one other sword location, the one remaining sword location they don't get is going to turn into a green 20. So our runners will never have a gold sword.
All right, so here we go. Kappa's on their. Excuse me.
Helmethor King.
I probably just need to go to bed after this. My God, I'm just blanking. Just the spiky tail guy with a mask. I don't know.
Not cat. kind of sort thing.
All right, so they are on the Helmosaur fight. Doing a nice job so far. I think they only need one more hammer hit. 2 more hammer hits. Yeah.
There you go. That was a number.
Yeah, so not much in pod, but still a red crystal, so I'm sure we're going to see all these runners full clear.
Oh!
All right, we have a mirror.
Finding the mirror on Helmosaur King. That's not nothing.
Oh, also we got notice that we have silvers were on the dig spot.
Ooh, silver's on dig.
Yeah, so
I imagine
we've got 3 runners with the shovel, but only Furious has found the silver, so it looks like.
I imagine Plasma is going to possibly go find that. Because he's got the shovel and he's right in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a little awkward for them to run in because I think they've already done the Village of Outcast checks. So they're gonna go up here and they're gonna do Skull Woods, and maybe after that they'll have either swamp or ice available to them. So unless you decide to go out of your way before going, and starting your entry into swamp, it's gonna be kind of a hard location for at least Plasma to get back to. Yeah, I think I see what you're saying, Anti-Bob, about like maybe going swamp. They also have, the Skull Woods here, so I don't think there's anything wrong with doing this first, honestly. In fact, if you get super lucky, like say you're Plasma Cap and you're going here and you find like, the Ice Rod and the Cane of Samaria or something, crazy like that, then, if you can. Clearing out Skull Woods is a lot faster than having to like full clear swamp, and if you can get a situation where you hit go mode before going into swamp, you save yourself a ton of time. As we do see Furious Magic being the one brave enough to go into Ice Palace without the cane.
Let's see how long it takes for him to regret this decision.
I might just be crazy. I kind of like. I don't mind going through Ice Palace. I kind of like doing the bomb jumps, even if it's slower. Like I said, this late in the seed, I don't mind this play.
I guess that's fair. Oh, Patreon taking unfortunate death somewhere.
Oh, they were in the Dark Maze, so they were just walking into the phone. Yeah. Now, Furious Magic will have to be a little careful because I don't believe they have any sort of magic buffer here. They might have stopped by the potion shop when I wasn't looking, but...
I didn't see them. It's possible.
Yeah, always a little scary going through here with no magic buffer and, no half magic, no bombos to free cold stare.
Yeah, without half magic, you require either a full magic meter or bombos in order to break cold stare's outer shell. If you don't have that, you do not have a bombos fight or cold stare fight.
Fury's having a little trouble with the bomb jump. I think that one might be good.
Yeah, he just couldn't get himself lined up.
Yeah, I think they were. I think it's kind of hard to see the exact pixels, but I think they might have just been a pixel too high on their first attempt.
Yeah.
I think that is a tech that a lot of runners, I think, don't learn or practice as much anymore with. Icebreaker being a thing,
yep.
But you have enough seeds where you find your Samaria in Ice Palace, and you'll change that pretty quick.
And as Anti-Bob is saying, it is possible to use your sword beams if you have full health to sort of do a weird double fire rod strike. The game sort of has trouble doing multiple things at once.
Yeah, that's true. And if I'm not mistaken, they might have their red potion. I'm not sure. Watching P-Train take down Helmosaur here.
And it's gonna be nice and quick.
Yeah, very nicely done. So Plasma with a mirror is opting to go through and knock out some of these overworld checks in the Dark World, it looks like.
It's not a bad idea. He has them available, and he's in the area.
Yeah, they can actually wrap this all the way around into Catfish and a warp into Zora, which I don't think they've checked that area yet, so this might work out pretty nice for them. They could also opt to just flute away after checking Graveyard Ledge here, so either way, it's fine, I think.
Yeah, it's $300. Nothing to write home about.
Yeah, so with the mirror, I think P-Train is looking like they're gonna go into Swamp right away. So I think they probably missed their opportunity to maybe get silver. So I don't know if they're gonna route those back in at all.
No, like what we were saying before, it's one of those checks that you just forget about forever.
Yeah, I mean, especially you do have the option maybe coming out of Swamp to go check, you know, like K45, and maybe you do it then. Yeah.
If you remember, K45 exists.
Oh, I see a Samaria on Plasma's side. Was that in Myershed?
I missed that when I was looking at P-Train doing P-Train things. I had to have been in Meyer.
Yeah, okay, so unfortunately for Furious Magic, this braving the Ice Palace without it is not going to pay off.
Yep, Plasma Kappa is going to have a significantly faster Ice Palace ahead of him.
Yeah, so at this point, we are in the classic, where is Ice Run Hot?
Oh yes, it's a tradition. Where in the world is the godforsaken Ice Rod?
Yeah, at this point, so I think at this point, if it's not in Swamp, do you just, I think the runners might just have to try going into Total Rock without it?
Risky, but I mean, if you don't have anything else to do, you can't get. It's not going to be in Spike Cave. It's not going to be in. It's not going to be anywhere else, really. We checked just about everything.
Yeah, we saw
P-Train take buried in Swamp.
Yeah, we saw P-Train knock out a lot of those Dark Death Mountain checks earlier on, so we know it's not, you know, it could still be hanging around something like Spike Cave, but yeah, it's always a little awkward when you get in that position. Do you just rush Turtle Rock and hope to get lucky? There's not really a good answer because it really just depends on the seed, but.
And your comfort level going various places.
Yeah. So we'll see the cleanup of the dungeons for sure, but unless it's like in Swamp Palace somewhere, we're gonna have to see what decision the runners opt to make regarding whether to rush Turtle Rock or not.
And item routing in the Swamp Palace is revealing to us that first is revealing to us that P-Train is going to be attempting something called Diver Down, which is a trick that that A Link to the Past lets you do unless you get stuck in the wall.
Yeah, unfortunately that skeleton decided to come say what's up, see what he was doing.
The game only checks for a water transition if you jump into the water from the stairs. So if you jump into the water through the wall, the game's like, oh, okay, you're on the floor now.
Yep, so we're gonna go ahead and see what's on the left side here. I feel like it's not too often you see runners opting to check this before actually clearing out Swamp.
I mean, I guess the seed's been crazy enough already. Oh!
There's our tempered. That's nice.
There's our final sword. P-Train paying dividends.
And a little bit of love. Okay, so I think Kappa's checked a few of these overworld spots already. And unfortunately, they have not paid out so far. Ooh, okay. This is a play right here on Kappa's side. Pretty much going all or nothing on this Ice Rod being in Mire.
That has to be what he's doing, and I mean, I guess it's a play. We're going to see another dive down on P-Train's side here.
Yeah, and so there are probably a couple things that are influencing this play. Number one being that they cleared out Thieves Town, which didn't lead to anything besides that lamp, which none of the other runners are really going to need. And also just that they've checked a little bit more of the overworld without turning up anything too. So I think both of those things combined are making them feel, that this is a gamble worth doing, right? They're probably feeling already like a little bit behind, and this is certainly a play that will win you the game if you find Ice Rod in here. Oh! Oh my god.
What happened? I missed it.
First Justin Meyer, Ice Rod.
Oh, okay. Damn.
So yeah, Cobbard. Let us not distract from the fact that P-Train just had a beautiful 0 cycle there.
Yes.
And I immediately cursed them the rest of the fight. But yeah, so immediate payoff for Plasma Kappa.
Like I said at the beginning of the seed that Plasma was doing something with the with backing into the bow that could save them substantial time. This is going to save him time. Like, he's got the ice right now. You don't need to scramble around all the creation trying to find the thing.
Yeah, I don't think they technically know that they are in go mode yet, because I don't think they've seen what the Turtle Rock Medallion is. I could be wrong, but
Plasma Kappa doesn't have ether, so he's not technically
right.
in go mode yet.
So ether is in Super Bunny Cave. So I'd have to imagine that if Plasma had been up to the mountain, then they most likely would have already had ether. So I don't think we'll see them do a go mode swamp here.
Which is a little unfortunate because go mode swamp is one of the fastest things in existence.
Yeah, I mean, they could. You could try it. It's scary with only one medallion though.
Yeah, you're doing a gamble. But I mean, then again, Plasma Kappa already did a gamble going into Misermire, so maybe he's gonna gamble.
Yeah, I think you want to go through here hoping that you can just forget about left side, and you're gonna find out that left side has 2 items, and you're gonna feel bad about it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they skip left side swamp and opt to check that medallion and Dark Death Mountain first. So I think Plasma is going to be pseudo go moding this dungeon and then just going up to see what Turtle Rock is all about. So yeah, this is a substantial lead for Plasma for sure. Yeah, because I mean, as we were talking about earlier, in terms of like density and just hoping that the seed plays nice, going into Turtle Rock is probably not only the highest percentage play at that point, but just the most efficient one as well. So it's hard turning that down and opting to check Pendant Mire before going up there. So
yeah, it's Plasma's doing all the strats.
yeah, so I don't know if we'll see it from any of the other runners on this. I also don't know if we'll see it from any of the other runners in the race, but we will see. Nice icebreaker there from P-Train. Yep, so no left side swamp for Plasma, is heading straight back here. So, you know, they'll give it a little bit of time back, not having that tempered unless it turns up in Turtle Rock somewhere or something. Maybe Ganon's Tower. But, you know, it's definitely worth the time trade, finding that Ice Rod versus not having Tempered Sword. And at this point, it's probably going to be only Furious Magic with our silvers as well. So it's easy to say that Plasma has the lead here, but between the other runners, I really don't know who we're going to see, you know, in the lead after that.
Yeah, I mean, having tempered is going to put P-Train at an advantage through the dungeons, but silvers, I don't know, Master Sword silvers or silverless tempered. I haven't run the math on that to figure out which is faster to, you know, who's actually ahead.
Yeah, I think P-Train probably has the lead, already having Desert and Swamp done at this point. Those can be fairly quick dungeons, but you know, still looking for the Ice Rod. Not gonna be faster than just clearing out this Ice Palace for sure. But you know that it's really just gonna be like who checks Meyer first. Honestly, at this point, I think any lead at this point is easily overcome by. Let me see what's going on in Meyer.
Oh, he's the Ice Rod. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Train visiting the not very often seen refill room here.
When you need it, you need it.
Yeah, between tempered and full magic, they could do sword beams if they wanted to, but with tempered, I don't even think they have to worry about it, honestly. Should be a nice quick fight from P-Train here. Ooh, going for the dash poke strats. I like seeing those.
It seemed to work.
Yeah, got away just a little bit. It's definitely not the easiest strat, but very fast and cool looking when it does work out. Still not much of a time loss though, so. Oh, so Plasma skipping these chests. Not interested in seeing what is just doing what is in the way, it looks like. But forgot that they need the key.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with that one.
Yep, and so here's P-Train making the very logical but unfortunate play for the seed. They're going to go into Turtle Rock. Now it is possible to save the portal.
Yeah, I have not figured out the precise mechanics behind this bit of wizardry, but you can do something to keep the portal there so you can get back here quicker. Yeah.
So the big thing is that as long as you haven't killed Aga, that whenever you die, you know, when you continue your game, it'll spawn you into the light world. and your portal will stay there. So you can't save and quit. And as long as Ag isn't dead. So generally what you'll do is you'll go through to Laser Bridge, put your portal there outside of Turtle Rock, and then just take a death. And from there, you can check wherever you want as long as you don't actually use your mirror. At any point, you can just basically keep dying and respawning somewhere in the light world again. So if the ice rod was somewhere like mirror locked, you know, like on cave 45 or something like that, then you'd have no chance of saving the portal. But in this case, you know, it is possible that P-Train could opt to go into Mire right away and manage to save their portal in Turtle Rock. I don't think I explained that very well, but
It's fine. It's better than I could have.
Yeah, it's definitely a handy bit of tech to know how to do, because when you can do it, it saves you several minutes. Easily worth it. Alright, so Plasma getting their 6 crystal here, just blazing through. Gonna feel temporarily bad when they see that Turtle Rock is ether, but then will be immediately bailed out when they find it in Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah. It's basically the best bad decision you can make.
So even though we've said that Kappa has a huge lead, you know, this if P-Train can save the portal, then it's certainly not as far ahead as it may seem, especially if another sword doesn't turn up for Plasma somewhere. They also have the benefit of, because if you're trying to save your portal, you're going to avoid some of those checks like Cave 45 and Graveyard Ledge, which Kappa checked and we know has nothing. So Mire, even though Illinois has 2 items, becomes like a more valuable play. Although it's without having gone to Thieves Town first, that we might see them go there as well. Alright, so yep, Plasma gets the bad news, and it's going to be temporarily sad for the next, like, 30 seconds. We got boss fights going on here with Tiverius and Furious Magic, which Tiverius is, a little scary. Yeah, go ahead and drink that, for sure. Good call. P-Train getting the very nice pokies. It always feels good when you can just, like, kill both of those pokies at once with a spin attack.
Yeah, otherwise you have to go chase the stupid pokies around, and that's never fun. Plasma Kappa's sadness is now over.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm sure they are feeling great.
Directly back into Turtle Rock they go.
And so we see Magic, you know, taking the other, you know, kind of logical play where you're at the decision: do you risk going into Turtle Rock? Do you want to knock out a few things? So they're going to go ahead and do Pyramid Fairy here, which unfortunately is not going to pay out. But you know, like I said, all these calls are really, whether they're good or not, is just dependent from seed to seed.
Yeah, I mean, it's the real question is a check logical? And in this case, it entirely makes sense that Furious Magic is doing this. We know that this check is not a good play, but as far as he knows, he's making the right call.
Yeah, and so P-Train has a several minute buffer on Plasma Kappa on this Turtle Rock, because even though Plasma is in go mode, Turtle Rock is not the dungeon where you're going to save a lot of time being in go mode, unfortunately. So it's going to be a big decision here, what we see P-Train do right after finishing this laser bridge.
I vote he's going to check Mimic Cave.
They did that on the way up to.
Did they already do that? I missed that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that had the blue cane in it. Okay, so saving the portal.
Stupid.
So P-Train's going. Oh yeah, we have the flute, so he doesn't even need to die. Duh. So yeah, your big things right now, if you're trying to save the portal, is you cannot save and quit. You can't use the mirror to create another portal. So those are like your only two restrictions if you want to save it. So you can go into the dark world, but if you want to go back, you need to take a death rather than saving and quitting or using your mirror. But the fact that P-Train started here, I wonder if they're going to do this into like Smith Chain and Thieves Town. It's hard to say. Actually, Smith Chain probably isn't going to happen because it's going to be awkward getting the Smith turn in.
Yeah, because that's going to take him right away from
but
saving the mirror. And
yeah, but I think they are unfortunately going to go into Thieves Town first, which is statistically, I think, the better play than going into Mire.
Yeah, Mire was just kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, even with the green pendant, you're talking about 4 items versus 3. So unfortunate for P-Train. Oh yeah, they haven't done a lot of these other checks as well. So I forgot that they did not do the Village of Outcast checks. But yeah, very hard to see them going to Mire before Thieves Town, unfortunately. So overall, we're an hour and 11 minutes in. Plasma Kappa is having a great time, and the other runners are probably hating the seed right about now. At least P-Train is, I know that. Yeah, and I mean, for all intents and purposes, like, you know, once Furious Magic cleans up Desert here, and once Tiberius does Ice Palace, they're essentially going to be tied at that point, and it's really just going to be who's crazy enough to try dipping into Mire first. And Kappa, at this point, I don't know if they have any safeties, but I know Kappa's a very experienced runner, so I'm sure with 11 hearts, even though they only have Master Sword, I'm guessing they're probably still feeling fairly comfortable. Yeah,
and they better be. Without half magic, you are on a kind of a short leash as far as how many mistakes you can make here.
Oh, so we see P-Train taking a death, which I think is a good sign. I didn't see exactly how far they went into Thieves Town, or did they go into Thieves Town?
I didn't see him go in, but maybe I missed it while I was watching Kappa.
They definitely didn't clear it out, so I think I got sad when I saw P-Train doing Village of Outcast. Okay, they did the first 4. Okay, Thank you, Jinxie. Alright, so here's going to be some more time saved for P-Train. Finding the silver arrows here. So the combination of Tempered Sword and silver arrows could still be enough to catch Plasma Kappa at this point, but they essentially have to go to Meyer almost immediately.
Yeah, because Plasma Kappa at 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 53 seconds has just entered go mode, and they are literally right next door to where they need to go right now.
But speaking of, yeah, and for anyone in chat, if you want to guess, since Kappa is heading into Guidance Tower, there are 22 possible locations for the big key there. So if you want to take your guess on where you think that big key will be, feel free to put a number in the chat. You will win nothing but my eternal respect.
And a lifetime supply of Link to the Best Randomizer seeds.
Yeah, but while that was going on, Furious Magic did make the Meyer dip and found their Ice Rod.
Okay, so they are going to close the loop with Turtle Rock. Are they going to catch up? I don't know. Plasma Kappa has a sizable lead.
Yeah,
routing could make the difference, though.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think there's a chance of the runners on stream catching Kappa. I think it really is going to take something really unfortunate, like a Ganon death or something like that. But I mean, this is a race with a lot of other runners, so we definitely don't know what the other runners are doing, and you know, with the other ones too, Furious Magic in a pretty decent position overall, I think. And yeah, I mean, this is a I can't blame P-Train for taking this leap either. Between like the Pyramid Fairy, Pyramid, and Catfish, that's 4 more items for you to check. So just really trying to play the odds in terms of you know, going to Village of Outcasts and then doing this, but just not the seed to play the odds, unfortunately.
Yeah, if any ever really is.
Ooh, and so there is a nice little cape there. I don't know if they'll use that for the Ganon fight. But we are 7 checks deep into Ganon's tower right now. Oh, did P-Train? I think P-Train used their portal. Or used the mirror, yeah. Oh, and there it is. So number 9, I think, is what it was.
And that goes to Liquid Brad.
So congratulations, Liquid Brad. You have my everlasting respect. I don't think it's worth very much, but you have it. Yeah, so yeah, it looks like P-Train might be opting to go into Spike Cave, maybe. Yeah, it just feels bad when you get in these positions. Alright, so Plasma taking the refill before they start their climb up the mountain. Or up the tower, excuse me. So only a few gauntlet floors and Agathite stands in the way between them and Ganon. So no silvers, no tempered sword, but I'm sure we will probably see Kappa make nice work of this tower.
Yeah, he is an experienced runner. If the current performance hadn't demonstrated that already, I'm sure he's going to have no problem.
Yeah, very nicely done. utilizing the hit into the spikes for these for those red. I actually don't know what those enemies are called. But yeah, you can't kill the red ones in one hit with the Master Sword, but if you hit them into the spikes do gold sword damage and will knock them out in one hit. Having a little bit of trouble with land mode here.
Finally got him.
Yeah, I guess just wanted to conserve magic. They did have a lamp, but oh, and there's a full magic there, just to kind of rub it in. And yeah, Drosy, I think that's, you know, definitely a question that like might want to ask them if they were considering going to Mire. I think, you know, at that point they had done the loop going from like Pyramid up to Catfish, and at that point they had neither checked the Zora ledge, you know, or done Zora, and so I guess they were just biting the bullet and wanting to loop it in while it was right there, take those odds. But yeah, it's just turning out really unfortunate for P-Train, who's just unfortunately doing everything except going to Mire right now.
Yeah, the one place he absolutely needs to be.
Yeah, I mean there are so many, and there are enough checks too. Like they had not done Graveyard Ledge, they hadn't done K45. Yeah, we'll see him go into Mire here, and I'm sure we'll be very sad. But yeah, I'm kind of with you that overall, that if you save your portal, you may want to try like knocking out those locations first. But Mire's just such a bad check, even if you're saving your portal. Furious Magic. Okay.
Furious Magic just entering the tower as Plaza Kappa finishes it.
I got a little scared there because I'd been watching Kappa and I didn't see the Turtle Rock Crystal, and I was like, magic? Tiberius getting scolded by the fairy right now too. Sorry, you're like commentating on the actual Ago fight. And Tiberius's timer is still going, so hopefully they haven't forfeited. I'm not too sure what's going on there.
I don't see anything up.
Might have just had something pop up in real life they had to deal with. Ooh, what is Kappa going for here? Maybe just looking for a sword. Gotcha. Or silvers.
Or silvers. Master Sword Silverless is not great.
Yeah, either one of those items would have been great to have before going to this fight. Easily worth the time to check it. So yeah, definitely has to be a little careful. Fortunately, they do have the lamp, which not all the runners have. But the ones that don't have it have the tempered sword, so.
Yep.
Ganon playing relatively nice though, getting some. I mean, this is like the best spot, I believe. Free doubles all day. Ooh, they must have a potion. which makes picking up that cape extra nice then. And yeah, if there was a green 20 on the lava chest, then I think that does have to be the other sword, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it would have to be.
Because we do have a few other items, like, you know, the shields in the mail that are capped out, but they are replaced by 5 rupees rather than the green 20. Alright, into phase 4 for plasma. Oh, okay. I always get a little scared when getting warps there when I'm trying to light the torch. Yep, and they do have the blue potion. So probably about halfway there on spins too, I think. Done a pretty good job setting up the triplets. Ganon's been nice enough to like warp to the bottom most of these times too, instead of like at the top of the map where you can't get them. I think that one counted. Alright, and so Tiberius, who has been on their Ice Rod hunt, I think might be going into Mire now to get theirs.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they don't even have the cane first, I forgot. So hopefully they don't opt out to go to Turtle Rock, but it's a definite possibility.
Yeah, we're about to see what they choose to do.
Alright, Plasma should be in the last couple of spins here.
There we go.
Alright, very nicely done. So holding up their sword, getting ready to cross to that bridge. Alright, so with an official time of 1:26:36, Plasma Kappa takes first place on our restream and second place overall in the actual race, in the overall race, I should say. So everyone get your GGs in chat for Plasma Kappa, playing the seed very nicely. First place overall was Asder with a time of 1:23, and I did not see the seconds. But we are joined by Kappa in chat. Good games to you, sir.
GG.
That was a seed.
Yes. My plans got a little derailed.
Did anybody's plans not?
Which plans were those for you that got derailed?
Oh, no, I left my hookshot in Spec Rock for a few years, so I end up with an EP pendant just in case the item in there is a lamp and it's got the pearl or something.
Yeah, I was actually early on when that was going on. I was actually thinking of a scenario where you would have had a huge lead if instead of it being like a hook shot in there, if it had been like a lamp or something, because you had gotten that bow out of logic, and then if like Armos had your other progression, you would have had a real nice advantage.
Yeah, so now I have a pendant. So I'm going to the Dark World. Let's read the pedestal. Oh, it's Bombos.
Yeah, not quite a good consolation prize, huh?
Yes. Oh, it's Bombos. I have no idea if that's required. I'll just assume it is.
Yeah, I'm sure you and chat were together on that one. And yeah, you I guess you didn't even know what Turtle Rock required until the very end there, right? So that was kind of up in the air for you the whole seed, more or less.
Yeah, I finished Thieves Town even after getting all the items, although that was probably the fastest way to get out of there. And I was like, okay, just go around, do the crystal dungeons, and wait, why am I going? And then I went to Skull Woods instead of Swamp first, which I hadn't intended, I just kind of did. But then I
Yeah,
got the mitts.
yeah. This was like an unfortunate one where it did end up being a little awkward for you starting in Village Outcast rather than at Hype Cave and getting that fire rod right offhand. Because I'm sure you probably would have gotten there before doing Thieves Town.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, you had a couple of like unfortunate scenarios like that. Is that part of why you decided that you were going to gamble on dipping Meyer so early, or what were your thoughts there?
I mean, at this point I'm like, the pad's required, so let's go ahead and do
Okay.
Meyer for our bombos, right? I've already done all that. Might as well do this, and then I get Ice Rod and immediately second guess myself.
Yeah, that did end up being the right play for you, fortunately too. But yeah, I hadn't thought about that you were still weren't sure whether bombos would be required. So I can see like why going into Meyer might not have been, as a low percentage of a play.
Yeah, and I was able to justify it because my Vitreous fight was still very sketchy at the time. It's like, I should have just done Swamp and Ice first to get stuff. That fight easier. So I went and did that. And I just went to TR and got bamboozled. But it
Yeah.
all worked out.
And
Yeah.
as we were talking, Furious Magic finishes in 4th place overall with a race time GG time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 6 seconds.
And GG's to Furious Magic. Yeah, I think overall the race was pretty close for the most part. I mean, you were easily by far like the first person to go into Meyer out of the 4 here and get the Ice Rod. Probably more so than any of the other runners besides Aster, if I had to guess. But yeah, so I guess at that point you were operating hope. What were you hoping for at Turtle Rock at that point? Because I noticed that you weren't like full go moding, but you were still skipping a lot of chests on your way up to Turtle Rock.
Oh yeah. I was like, oh, there's a 2/3 chance in go mode. Let's just play go mode-ish, a little more conservative, because our game and fight sucks.
Yeah, because I guess at that point you had what you needed to clear out Meyer, so if it was Bombo, so you could immediately just go back and knock that out without any major time loss. So yeah, I think I mistakenly was like thinking I was a little surprised you weren't checking more, because in my head I was still thinking that it was kind of like a 1/3 chance in terms of like the medallion. I mean, we knew Ether was up there, so I was talking about how you probably were only going to be sad for like 30 seconds before you got that.
Oh, I'm willing to bet on a 1/3 chance.
Yeah, and I just noticed that we also have Furious Magic in here. GG to you.
Hi, GG's.
So yeah, we're talking about the seed. As you can probably guess, the Ice Rod was like the main thing of this one in terms of like what flipped most of these race times around. What were your major thoughts on the seed?
I think it really just came to my Dark World when I just started at Hype Cave, went through Dig Game. I got Fire Rod. Those led to mitts, and I decided to try to just follow those mitts as hard as I could. Unfortunately, I didn't follow them far enough. I should have went to Meyer sooner than later, but that's how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those seeds where like so many different decisions could be correct just depending on the seed that you're playing. So I don't think that anything you made was like a bad decision or anything. Just didn't quite work out the way you might have.
Like I was saying during the race, good and bad decisions are all contextual, and in your context, in the context of what you knew about the seed when you were making decisions, nobody made a bad one.
Yeah, and so I mean, the biggest difference between you and Plasma was certainly that you he managed to get their ice rod pretty early on. You opted to be a little bit more thorough in the overworld before going to Turtle Rock. Is that something you normally do, or was that in your mind at some point?
I tend to play against Ice Rod in Turtle Rock because as much as we all like to meme about that. I just tend to play against that. I'll try to be more thorough and whatnot before committing to that kind of play.
Yeah, it's a hard situation to be in because, I mean, density-wise, Turtle Rock does have a lot too. And as we're joined by P-Train, GG to you, P-Train.
GG's.
Thought that would be a good point to bring you in because you opted for the play where you're going to go straight to Turtle Rock when you had the option and hope to find your ice rod in there.
I mean, I felt like up until Ice Rod wasn't in Turtle Rock, I was on the God route. Like I felt really good about this.
Yeah, you were certainly, crystal-wise, like in the lead. I think at that point, pretty solidly. Although, before you'd finished your last crystal, I think Plasma had already gotten their ice rod. So, we kind of assumed they were in the lead. You did have a chance when you saved your portal, but it was just a matter of where do you go from there. And you still had all of Village of Outcasts left, and so.
Yeah, I was trying to decide between, do I clean up the things that I know everybody else has already done, or do I gamble on all of that being trash and trying to do stuff that I don't think anyone's done yet? And I really didn't want to lose to Village of Outcasts.
Yeah.
So I was like, we have to do Village of Outcasts. Then I took a Death Warp. I felt like Pyramid Fairy to Catfish was a decent option over Meyer. And then at that point, it became, do I want to go to the Smith chain first, or do I want to do Meyer first? And if I wasn't one item from if the Turtle Rock portal wasn't a consideration, absolutely 100%, you do Smiths over Pendant Meyer. At least I would.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and made that decision. Gave up the portal, did Smiths, and I don't know. At that point, I just kind of, my heart sank because the beginning of the seed went so well for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I hated that for you, and especially once I saw you give up the portal. It's interesting to hear that you were operating more on a, what are people less likely to do rather than more. I thought it was like more of like a percentage just because like Village of Outcasts had the most checks at that point, and then the whole loop between Pyramid Fairy up to Catfish gave you like 4 more checks, not including like Zora. So I thought you were playing more for density at that point, but
almost always my inclination is that I want to move the seed forward. I really like to go forward in the logic. I don't like to go backwards in the logic a whole lot. So to that extent, Meyer was a part of the logic I hadn't explored yet. Village of Outcast was a part of the logic that's been available to me for some time now. Basically on par with, Turtle Rock, Hype Cave. I'm not Turtle Rock, Skull Woods, Hype Cave, all that other stuff. So, so for me to do Village of Outcasts, it means, okay, I'm stepping back in the logic. And if I make a decision like that, I want to have a good reason to do it. And in my mind, the fact that probably literally everybody has done Village of Outcasts at this point. Do I really want to lose if Ice Rod is sitting on chess game? Is that the hill I want to die on? And I figured it wasn't. I would rather, like, Ice Rod being in Meyer. What are you gonna do? That's a loss I'll take in this scenario.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if it was in chess game, that would have broke my heart. If I go back and kill Armos, I'm doing Smiths, I'm doing Pyramid Fairy, like that I wouldn't have been able to stand by that at the end of it all.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think Capo was the only one who did end up knocking out Armos, which I think in the end helped lead them to their Ice Rod a little early.
Yep.
Did you have Bo before Eastern?
Yes, I did.
And unfortunately, we are getting the information now that Tiberius has forfeited the race.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Rough seed. I'm sure they did not want to go on their Ice Rod hunt after everything.
And we are actually joined by Tavares right now in the chat. Well fought, sir.
I don't know what was going on with my inability to execute tonight, but it was embarrassing, and I didn't want Speed Gaming to have to wait another hour for me to hunt for that ice rod. GG's.
Oh,
GG's.
I'm sorry. That
I mean, that seed was just rude.
yeah, you would have. And on a positive note, you didn't have to go on the ice rod hunt, which ended up being in Pendant Mire. So that's a win for you there.
That was my next stop. I thought about it when I found the cane too. I'm like, $5 says it's in Mire, but oh well.
Yeah. So I know a lot of you are pretty well experienced runners. So I'm fairly new to the scene. When I started playing, progressive bows have just always been a thing. Did you all like playing with these settings, or how did you all feel about that?
I guess I'll start. So I actually also only started playing when progressive bows racing. So I kind of like these. The only just one bone in the pool.
Yeah, I've always, when they announced the idea of progressive bows, I actually was a huge fan. After playing it for a while, it's basically just 2 bows in the pool. Like that's literally all it is. Especially in hard mode, it's the only item that you have 2 of. Silvers don't really have any logical implications. The bow does. So you get 2 chances to break that logic, right? I like having the single bow. It particularly, like, I got very sobered up whenever I found the bow in Old Man, because my first time on the mountain I didn't do it because I was convinced I was going to find the lamp in Spectacle Rock, and then I was going to go do Aga or something like that. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just do the Old Man when I get the lamp. So when I cleaned it up later and I found the bow, I was like, oh wow, like if I had skipped that was game over. There's no redeeming, there's no second bow to save me. Which I think is really good, because that definitely weighs on my decision making. Like if you're looking at the Hera basement and you're a bow from Go mode, it's like, oh well, there are 2 of them in the world, so I feel better skipping that. Whereas if there's one and you miss it, you've missed it forever. I like that consequence.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was definitely interesting watching. Go ahead, Kappa. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah. Of course, second bows in GT a lot of the time, so it's kind of like a somewhat bailout.
Yeah, I can imagine, in terms of like following the logic, having the single bow helps, but I can also see like seeds where you're maybe forced to make some really rude dips or other things that you don't want to have to do.
Yeah,
Like,
I can take or leave the progressive bow. I'd like the D sprite back, but otherwise.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, and besides that, kind of like that this was like a pseudo hard mode. So I think, did all of you all participate in the hard mode tournament that was on recently?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm sure you probably felt comfortable the whole time, and getting to have at least blue mail is kind of like a little nicer, I'm sure.
It is. I'm really glad that they removed half magic from the item pool. That I feel like that. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of annoying because GT, I was sweating it a little bit. I was like, we can't go too crazy with the fire rod because we don't have the lamp and we have to light torches. But I don't know. I mean, it's like, imagine if you don't find silvers and you don't have lamp, and now you have to do torchless. Especially the fact that the bottles are empty by default. It just, I feel like your resource management really comes into play at the end game, and you don't have half magic to bail you out. So even Ice Palace was I was sweating that for a little bit, wondering if I was going to have to do the sword beam trick on Cold Stare.
Yeah, I hear you. It's funny because all those reasons to me are exactly reasons why I love half magic.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm like, please give me a little bit of a buffer for doing all these things.
Oh, you saw that contributed to my terrible land mode 2. The best land mode 2 in all the lanes.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, I respect you, pulling out the bow and trying some of those strats.
Does anybody ever really have a good land mode too?
My Lambo 2 was solid. My Ice Rod hunt sucked.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't do a few more fire rod shots since you had the lamp. I feel like you maybe could have gotten away with it a little bit more.
Yeah, probably. I was like, do I want to go buy another potion?
Yeah, I really like how the game in the very next room gave you like a full magic drop off the wizard too.
Yeah. Probably should have played a bit more crazily. Oh well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really enjoyed watching you all run. You all did all our fantastic runners. I thought you did a good job. I liked watching your decisions. That I feel like each of you had like a slightly different strategy at different points in the seed. So I'm a little sad it came down to that awkward ice rod placement, but that's just the way rando goes, I guess.
Yep.
Where was the lamp? I didn't find that.
The lamp was buried in the big chest in Thieves Town.
Chest
Oh, wow.
thieves checked that son of a gun right away.
Well, I was gonna pull a pet, so of course I'm doing that.
I checked pad with the book, but luckily it didn't. And then I saw the medallion on it, and I went right up the mountain. I'm like, please don't be bombos.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
That's why I
was-
put off Village of Outcasts for so long. Was because I wanted to check that Turtle Rock medallion before diving Village of Outcasts to know if I needed to do thieves or not.
Yeah.
Chat was on the edge of their seat, waiting for that medallion check.
Yeah,
That
and
absolutely gotten me then.
I know P-Train and Plasma had checked bombas. Furious, Magic, or Tiberius, did you all check Ped? Did you know about the bombas being there?
Oh yeah, I checked that, and before I had mitts, I checked Bombo's tablet too. I'm like, this book has to lead to something, and so I was checking the tablet, checked the pad, nothing.
I did
Yeah,
not check.
I was very upset when Desert was empty too. I was hoping Mirror was in Desert.
That's always an annoying and fun location for it. That or purple chest. Just like, really, game? All right.
I didn't check ped, so I was going to die on that hill if Bombus was actually required in this seed. Fortunately, it wasn't for either dungeon.
Yeah, and I think we were talking to Kappa a little bit about this before everyone else joined, but having that Bombos knowledge, P-Train, you went up to Dark Death Mountain early, and so you saw that it was ether and found your ether. But Kappa was kind of operating on, maybe Turtle Rock is that Bombos, and so I think he said that gave him more incentive to check Meyer, and I think that worked out for him there as well.
Yeah, because I'd already cleared EP, so I already had a pendant.
But yep, poor chat. No Aga today. No Ped.
Yeah, the ice rod hunt is rough, but when you get to that stage, like there are no good and bad plays. There's the correct play, and everything else is just incorrect. And it's just a matter of narrowing that down. And yeah, y'all did that better than I did. So GG's.
Yeah.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's.
And I just put all of the runners' Twitch links into chat, so feel free to give them a follow. Like I said, great runners, and I'm not sure if y'all are in any tournaments going on right now. I know there's like the cross keys going on right now. So if you wanted to shout yourself out, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, you should definitely give them all these runners a follow for doing a great job.
Certainly, and putting themselves out there. It is not an easy thing to decide to run randomizer in front of 100 people on Twitch.
Yeah, so if you all do have any tournament matches coming up, good luck to you all in those as well. I think these settings that we have are going to be, I don't know if they're finalized, but they are going to be part of the settings for the upcoming Speed Gaming Live tournament that's going to be happening soon. I don't think I got the date before I came on here, but did you all have any final thoughts or suggestions you wanted to say about those settings?
I'm enjoying them. I think it's a good balance. I find this mode a little bit more challenging than the last weights, the hard mode tournament, simply because that half magic is half magic's a big bailout, honestly. Also, as mentioned earlier, the single bow, and I think health is distributed a little bit differently. I'm not a huge fan of the way health is implemented in the stock hard mode. So I like what Cynic has done with the health pool. So I'm enjoying it. I think it's going to make for a good tourney.
Yeah. It was my first race under these settings, and I enjoyed it a lot. I was like, wait, maybe I shouldn't have skipped that heart piece at the mushroom spa. And when I looked up later, they had way more hearts than I saw they had. Which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo those sentiments. It was a great mode to play, a lot of fun. Like everyone else was saying before, it really makes you think about your decisions a lot more.
All right. Well, there is some feedback for whoever's running the tournament. Just figured I'd throw that out there. But yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and start wrapping things up. So again, thank you all for coming on and doing the post-race interview with us.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I know you guys shouted us out for running on the restream, but you know the true heroes of the restream are always the comms and the trackers and the restreamers on the back end. So big thanks to you all for doing that.
Thanks to you guys.
Of course.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see you all again sometime soon. And yeah, especially shout outs to Mad Ewok and Jinxie for taking care of the tracking for us.
Yep. Big shouts to them. We would be lost in Hyrule without them, and more to the point, none of us would be here without you. So thank you, the viewers, for tuning in and watching.
All right. Hope everyone has a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow, I think.